Coach, can you just kind of talk us through how Coach Messer really jumped off the page? I know you had a list of candidates you were looking at.
Sure. There you go. Okay.
You do the Zoom interviews. Just how big was that first impression?
Oh, it was meant everything. First impressions are, as you know, first impressions happen only once. So, and it was just the connection, and we had fantastic candidates. Really strong pool. We had to wait a couple days because some teams were still playing in the tournament, and a lot of coaches don't want to talk about other opportunities, which I completely respect. And so the fact of the matter is, when we started doing all the Zooms, it's so much easier to do Zooms. Now that's one thing great about COVID is that you can just get people on the right away. They can connect, and so it was really a great opportunity for us to really be able to ask a bunch of questions, find out about her as a person. And they were more like meet and greets, if anything, if honestly. We just proceeded to say, look, we got to get her to campus, and I wanted her to meet the president. And we brought her in on Friday, and she met with a bunch of people on our staff, and she had the same feelings on Friday as we did on the Zoom, and she's just a wonderful person to be around, and she's got a great story. It aligns of my core principles that we constantly challenge every single day so they remain relevant. And that's, look at her background. Her parents didn't go to college. She didn't talk about that. Her parents didn't go to college. They raised 8 kids. I think every one of them got degrees, and they instilled in the idea of an education, a degree, and a career. You can be whatever you want to be if you just take advantage of all the God-given abilities that He gave you, and that's what she did at Arkansas. And she was a highly successful player, and has been a really, really outstanding top assistant for the last 9 years. I mean, probably from all accounts, the top assistant. And I liken her to Kirby Smart, Brent Venables, Lincoln Riley. That's probably the best analogy I can give you for those football fans. That's the type of assistant she is. Associate head coach.
I'm sure that it also helped too that you guys are going into the Big 12. Was that also a big help or a big reason that you could have someone who could transition and get these girls ready for the competition that they're going to go?
Well, that was a huge part of it. She knows the Big 12. We're not just going into the Big 12 to compete. We want to go in the Big 12 to win it. And if you win the Big 12, you have a chance to compete for a national championship, and that's what she wants to do. So it aligns together her career goals. And not to say that if we weren't going in the Big 12 that we wouldn't be able to get her, but I would tell you, that was a big selling point to her.
The quickness of the process, was that to continue to build on the momentum that's there for the?
Yeah, you talking about the quickness?
Well, hiring her so fast.
Well, it depends. Some people didn't think I hired her very fast. I feel like I did. And so, when you're waiting for other, I think that my searches are conducted pretty quickly. I don't do anything else but to conduct a search. And I mentioned the people that were part of the search committee that we vetted. That's all we do. So once I found out that Coach Abe was leaving, we buried ourselves, and I worked about 10 o'clock every night, and we interviewed, we vetted, we watched film, we watched videos, we watched social media accounts, and you know what? And then once you do all that, then you have those face-to-face interviews, Zooms, or whatever, and you really get a good feel, and then start asking some pertinent questions, and it moves pretty quickly after that.
Do you believe with this hire, and obviously going into the Big 12, that UCF has the potential to become a top 5, top 10 program? Because you look at like South Carolina, they really weren't doing much before Don Staley got there. Baylor the same way before Kim Mulkey got there. It seemed like the pieces would be in place.
There's no doubt we could be a perennial top 25 program, and we hired the coach that has recruited that way for many years. There's no coincidence that we hired this coach. She knows how to recruit, she knows how to connect in the living room, and she knows how to win. Every level she's been at as a player, coach, head coach, assistant, she wins. The lady just wins.